Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the story about Naruto. What if Naruto become a kami half-god part 8. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please do support for more awesome content and also hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends. And also support the creator of this fanfic. I have created many playlists, check it out in the channel. So let's start the video. Zabuza said the Sanins sent orders for them to go somewhere else. They gave me that scroll on the table for you. I've been acting as the president of the bank and Haku as a teller while they were gone. Naruto walked over and read the scroll and said, I see. Did they have any problem with you being here? Zabuza said no, that scroll you wrote me to give to them seems to reduce some of their worry. They had me and Haku wear henges while here with Haku as a teller and me as security until they got that message a couple of days ago. Naruto said, are you going to keep running or do you want to keep a low profile? Zabuza said, probably keep a low profile for now. Naruto said, well, in that case, if you want, the girls won't be back for about 2 months. They left all the titles here and I need someone I can trust to watch over my business here. I can hire you both to just do what you've been doing and you can take 10% out of my share for yourself. I may not be as rich as Gato, but at least it will be enough to support you until you can meet the Mizukage during the Chunin exams and I can send word back here once things are safe in Konoha for you. Zabuza said, yeah, that will work, but I want to know why you did it. Why put your neck on the line like you did and replace us? Naruto said, you earned my respect. You may say one thing, but your actions prove another. You treat Haku here like a tool, but when I had her dead to rights in our fight, you had a choice to leave her and let her die or save her, and you saved her. I know people see ninja as tools to be used and thrown away, but like I told you, what's the use of winning at all cost when you have no one to go back to because you cost them their life? You could have killed me after I passed out when you took my arm. I still owe you another ass kicking for that, by the way, but I think during our fight I earned my respect, which is why you defended me against Gato. Zabuza frowned behind his bandages and said, yeah kid, you did. You stood toe-to-toe with me. If it was just a one-on-one fight, I honestly don't know which of us would have won that fight. Haku was the deciding factor in that fight, kid. You ever need someone to watch your back, send for me. Anyone who can face death like you and willing to stand up for something like you did is someone I would be honored to fight beside. As he stood up and offered his hand, Naruto walked forward, shook hands, and said, same to you, no brows. Take care of him, Haku. Haku said, I'll try. Naruto said, well, come on guys. I gotta go see the old hag. As he walked out, Zabuza said, Sharingan Kakashi. Catching Kakashi's attention, who looked at Zabuza. Zabuza said, watch out for him. I don't give respect often. Anything happens to him, I'll come for you. Kakashi sweat dropped and said, I'll keep that in mind. As he walked out. After he got outside, Kakashi shook his head and said, you have a strange effect on people, Naruto. Naruto said, I guess, so you want to say hi to your lady friend while we are here, Sasuke? With a smirk. Sasuke said, I'll hurt you if you don't shut up about that. Naruto said, relax team. It's karma paying you back for being an ass so long, so you actually tried the alcohol idea. Sasuke glared and said, that is none of your business. Naruto laughed and Kakashi said, you know, you seem to be pretty relaxed about Zabuza not joining us. Why was that? I thought for sure you would have begged him to come. Naruto said, you know Inoichi. Sakura said to Mr. Yamanaka, what about him? Naruto said, the scroll back there said that Inoichi and both his teammates were in the area. They are asking around about me, but not officially clan business. I have a feeling I know what it's about, and if I'm right, having Zabuza and Haku with us would be a bad idea. Sasuke said, something you haven't told us. Naruto said, there is a lot I haven't told you. This just happens to be related to one of them. The group traveled for 20 minutes after that in silence before Naruto said, guys, we're being followed. All 3 other members of Team 7 tensed, and Kakashi said, how many and where? Naruto was silent for a moment and said, there's 3 of them. I think it's Inoichi and his teammates. Kakashi said, whatever it is, they are asking about you for something that could endanger the team. Naruto said, team no. Me, yes. Sasuke said, I'm starting to see a pattern in these surprises, Naruto. Naruto laughed and Kakashi said, well, let's keep going normal until they decide to do something, but stay alert just in case. 10 minutes later, Naruto said, so do any of you know what guys are supposed to do when they are going to be a father? As he continued to walk. Sakura asked, what do you mean you're going to be a dad, Naruto? Naruto was silent for a few moments and said, I don't trust Konoha. When I heard about my bloodlines and what they could do, I became scared of what would happen. I could see them turning me into breeding stock, turning my children into weapons, and countless other things I don't want to think about. It honestly decided I was never going to have a child with anyone in Konoha unless it was a political thing where, if I had a political marriage with someone, then the child would be protected, so I decided I was going to look for couples who couldn't have children or women who would be good mothers and could take care of a child but didn't have a husband and lover or didn't want one. I would be a donor to allow them to have a child to ensure my bloodline didn't die out, since I knew my family's enemies would target my children. Also, I met someone who fell in that category. I didn't know a lot about her, but I told her about myself some, not a lot, and she didn't know where I was from or who I was since I was without my high-8. Turns out Kami's a bitch, and she turned out to be Tsunade apprentice. I thought odds are I would never see her again, but now I have to deal with Tsunade without destroying the bridge between me and her apprentice, because there's no way I can deny being the father since I've always wanted a family, plus I got to somehow tell Ino about it. Sakura said, damn, you just can't win for losing, Husso, what's the deal with you and Ino really? Naruto said, truthfully, she's my slave. Several sets of eyes popped out and looked at Naruto in shock as he turned to look at his team. Sasuke said, I must have heard you wrong, did you say Ino is your slave? Naruto said, yeah, it's a long story, and the funny thing is, Inoichi doesn't know, and he's basically paying me to do whatever the hell I want to her. Kakashi said, you're dead, you know that, right? Inoichi going to mind rape you and then kill you? Naruto said, no, once he finds out the truth I think he will actually be grateful for it. Sakura said, I don't see how he could be grateful that you have Ino as a slave. Naruto said, simple, because if I didn't, Ino would have killed herself. If you want proof, you can enter my mind for yourself, Inoichi. As he looked to the left toward the woods, a very pissed off looking Inoichi landed on the ground and said, give me one reason I shouldn't kill you right now. Naruto said, because I spoke the truth. Enter my mind and see the first time Ino entered it and see what happened from that point on with us. Inoichi said, and how do I know this isn't some kind of trap? Naruto said, why do people fall? Inoichi blinked and said, what are you talking about? Quit avoiding the question. Naruto said, I'm not avoiding it. The answer to my question is the answer as to why Ino asked to be my slave and the answer to why she was ready to kill herself. People fall so that they learn to get back up. Every time in Ino life she felt she was never allowed to get back up on her own. Others picked her up and made it where she couldn't fall again. The time she broke a bone, when she fell out of the tree, you had Choji and Shikamaru started after that to go over and be ready to catch her so she wouldn't fall again, and eventually she just gave up climbing. When she tried to burn your kitchen down so you would punish her, you told her it was an accident and you wouldn't let her cook again. When she demanded a $1,000 dress she never actually wore, you gave in and got it for her instead of letting her learn she can't have what she wants. Every time she tried to fall, you and everyone else would pick her back up and put her on a pedestal like a good little princess that you look at but don't touch. She told me she was numb inside, that everyone acts like they love her, but how can she know what love is when she never been allowed to feel the pain of not being loved, of being hurt? How can she truly live if she's just a trophy in a display case? Info entered my mind and somehow I was pulled in and found her before she could see any of my memories. Unlike everyone else, I didn't let her go or tell her it's okay. I caught her and I yelled at her and I punished her. I made her clean an abandoned apartment while telling her about my friend who died when the council member's daughter sold out her 3 relatives on a mission. You know who I am speaking about. I told her that if she didn't grow up she would be just like that girl. Somehow I got through to her. I gave her the wake-up call she needed her entire life and let her experience her first fall when she learned to get back up. I gave her that purple dress. How often does she wear it, and how often does she wear that $1,000 dress you bought her? Which does she care more for, and why does she care more for me than you and the entire village? Because I let her fall and learn to get back up. She offered to give up her ninja career, her clan name, her innocence, everything. Just as long as I treat her as a servant, a slave. I'm the one who's got her training to protect herself instead of a fangirl. I'm the one who got her to start taking her duties more seriously. I haven't ever abused the power I have. I may have spanked her when she tested to see if I would keep my word, but I did not take advantage of her. Anyone else could have had her be a sex toy or broke her, but I'm actually helping her be human. Ironic, the demon teaching a princess to be human. Now if you will excuse me, but we need to return to Konoha. I'll let Ino know I told you, and if you want to speak to her, fine. She is your daughter, but if it came to a choice she would choose me over you any day simply because I don't treat her as a glass doll. Come one team. Inoichi and his two drinking buddies need time to think over what they just heard, since they are realizing they made a mistake. Luckily I'm not like Orochimaru. Ino would have made the perfect spy for him, having been conditioned all her life, as she has. As he began to walk away, he made it 10 feet when a shadow caught him and froze him, and Shikaku said, Inoichi, see if he's telling the truth. See if this is why Ino bitch slapped Tsunade. Suddenly, before anyone could react, Naruto's sword flew into the air and glowed before the entire area was covered in darkness. Then when everyone could see, they could see Naruto training to use Mokuton when he was pulled into his mind. Him finding Ino in his mind and then her fleeing. Naruto chases after her and then captures and screams at her. Then Naruto torture of Ino and his punishment. Then the next day, when Ino threw a kunai at Naruto and confronted him telling her to go to the apartment and clean it. Arriving at the apartment and soaking her with the water balloon. Talking to her about being a bitch and treating others wrong. The confrontation about his former tenant and talking about the night Ino went to the orphanage. Naruto showed her the dress and the book and left her, and then the memories of the clone watching Ino begin to clean after she read the book. They saw Ino bringing lunch and talking to Naruto and hearing her confession and both taking a nap in the sun. Then Naruto seeing Ino dream and how she desired to be treated as a slave. Waking up and acting on the dream and their vows to each other. Then when Naruto rewarded her. Leaving together with Anko, training together, sleeping in the same bed. Then Ino found him near death after he met Tsunade and returned, asking her to watch his plant and giving her the key to his apartment. Then there was a flash of light and Naruto blinked as he looked around and saw everyone looking at him. Inoichi rubbed his hands across his face and said, release him, Shikaku. The shadow retracted and Inoichi looked at Naruto and glared at him and said, I should kill you, Naruto, but my father-in-law should have killed me. Also, Ino is her mother's daughter. Chauza, who walked out of the trees, said, why didn't she ever talk to us about her feelings that way? Naruto said, because you saw her for what you wanted to see her as, just as the people of Konoha see me, as Kyuubi, you saw her as a princess that needs protecting. You heard her own words and confession. I know you're probably pissed at the way I first punished her, but she needed that wake-up call. Inoichi pinched his nose and said, yes, you're right. All these years we really were picking her up and not letting her fall, so what are your plans for my daughter? Naruto said, depends. Inoichi glared and said, depends on what? Naruto walked over, grabbed Desire and slipped her back on his back and said, it depends on her really. Saying she's okay with something and actually being okay with it are two different things. She will either accept me being with others like I told her and she claimed she didn't care about it, or she will care and feel I betrayed her. If it's the first, you might as well start thinking of me as a son-in-law, but don't worry, it will be several years before you become a grandpa. As he rubbed his head trying to lighten the mood, Inoichi unleashed a little kai and said, and if she doesn't accept you being with others? Naruto said, false. She'll experience heartache and betrayal and will make her want to be loved to forget those feelings and return to the ones she felt protected by before, meaning she will return back to you to try and ease the pain. Either way she will grow loved and cared for. I may punish her when she purposely does something wrong to see if I keep my word, but I will never actually hurt her because I do care for her and want to see her happy, but I also want to see her live. Inoichi said, how did you get so wise? Naruto said, with time knowledge becomes wisdom. As I learn more, as I get older I gain wisdom. Shikaku said, how did you do that? Show us your memories. Naruto frowned a moment and said, I'd rather keep that a secret. Inoichi said, how about you enter into dream? Naruto said, again a secret. Chauza said, and the sword? Naruto said, it's a. Shikaku said the secret was troublesome. Naruto asked, so Ino slapped Tsunade? Inoichi said, yeah. A couple of days ago her team entered Tsunade's office and Tsunade was in a bad mood and mentioned something to Ino about you, and Ino slapped her. Right now she's been suspended from her duties as a ninja and is on lockdown at your apartment building. We came out here to find out what set her off since both she and Tsunade refused to speak about it. Naruto sighed and said, I'll deal with it when I get back to Konoha and get info off suspension. Inoichi said why did Ino slap her? Naruto said remember my injuries where I nearly died. Tsunade did that to me. As you saw, I can use Mokuton. I'm the great-grandson of the Shodaime Hokage, however all the proof I had of that claim was in a scroll I gave to Tsunade who instead of looking at it punched me through 6 trees, burned the scroll, and then kicked me in the face while I was bleeding to death pinned under that tree. It's really a clan matter that is getting Konoha involved, but I'll get it sorted out when we get back. If you don't mind give me a couple of days, and I'll have Ino come talk to you about her feelings and about her being my slave. Damn I need a drink. Kakashi said how about some of that ambrosia? Naruto glared at him and said no, and hell no, so do I need to worry about having my mind destroyed, body crushed, or compelled to jump off the Hokage monument? I'll survive that one by the way. Done it twice already. Sakura said you jumped off the Hokage monument. In a shocked voice. Naruto said jump, throw, same difference when you hit the bottom. Hurts like hell. Inoichi frowned and said I'm not paying for Ino to stay with you anymore. Naruto said yeah, you will. I'm not going public with my relationship with Ino yet. Not until she can defend herself should I would try something, since they know I'm Yondaime's son now and have already sent a team after me. Also you might want to get a heads up. The Hyuga clan are going to be extremely pissed when I inform them that not only does the Hidden Mist village have a set of eyes, but they also have 60 children with the Hyuga bloodline as well thanks to Danzo. Everyone but Kakashi and Naruto's eyes widened as they heard this, and Shikaku said are you sure? Naruto said I got a scroll from the Godame Mizukage on me for the council and the Hokage. She will be coming for the Chunin exams to possibly have Momochi's abuser rejoin her village since the bloodline civil war is over and the bloodline side won. Shikaku asked, how do you know that? Kakashi said because Zabuza is currently working for Naruto. Naruto said I also got a possible trade alliance between the Hidden Mist village, Wave Country, and Konoha for the council. We've had a prosperous trip. Kakashi said I still can't believe you stole the Godame Mizukage panties she was wearing. Naruto said hey, I'm still taking bets she tries to rape my ass when she comes to Konoha. Kakashi said well considering you basically beat her at her own game of sexual flirting I can understand. Inoichi said you're joking, right? Naruto pulled out a scroll and opened it before unsealing Mei Thong and held it up and said nope. Sasuke said you have got huge balls Naruto to not only steal those but to tell Inoichi you're basically screwing his daughter. Naruto shrugged and said men call me a demon and women call me a god. You're one to talk though. I only have to worry about having my mind destroyed. Your girl's dad could do a lot worse. Inoichi said I don't think I can take much more. Let's just get back to Konoha. Naruto said if you don't mind, don't tell me anything you have seen or heard. I need Tsunade still to be unsure if I am really her cousin or not for my plan to work. Inoichi said if you hurt my daughter, I'll do more than destroy your mind. I'll make you compost for my flowers. Naruto gave him a smirk and said I said it before, I'll welcome death's embrace when I die. Kakashi thought of course you do. You're going to meet your parents. The group took to the trees after that, and the 3 clan heads were surprised that Team 7 was able to keep up with the Michunin speed. 2 hours later the village of Konoha was seen coming in the distance, and Naruto jumped from the trees, landed on the ground, and stopped. Everyone heard or saw him go to the ground and then stop, and they each pulled up on their running, and Kakashi asked what's wrong with Naruto. Naruto looked at the 3 clan heads and said do you 3 need to go see Tsunade for anything since you were out of the village? Chauza said no, since we are the heads of our clans and claimed we were out of the village for clan business we don't have to report to her why. Naruto took a deep breath, pulled out his deck of cards and faced one toward him, tossed it to Kakashi after the image appeared and said wait an hour and then check into the village. I'm going to sneak in and speak to Tsunade before you guys do, so that way we can get our family business taken care of before you arrive. Okay. Kakashi said you're not going to kill her are you? Naruto said no, but just give me an hour. As he disappeared, shocking the 3 clan heads. Kakashi sighed and walked over to a tree and sat down pulling out his Icha Icha Paradise book and Inoichi said what are you doing Kakashi? Kakashi said waiting an hour like he requested. All 3 clan heads looked confused as Sasuke and Sakura both took a seat under a tree and Shikaku said you're just going to listen to him just like that. Kakashi looked up and said when was the last time Jiraiya came to Konoha? Inoichi said I believe when Tsunade took over as Godame, why? Sasuke snorted and said he's a coward after what happened back in Wave huh? Kakashi said perhaps. Chaozu asked, what happened back in Wave? Kakashi said we basically all four became missing nins by refusing to follow Tsunade and Jiraiya orders. It's a good thing we did though. We got some serious intel about several threats to Konoha thanks to that. Inoichi asked, what kind of intel? Kakashi said Orochimaru has started his own village in rice field country called the Hidden Sound Village made up completely of missing nin. He was buying people for his experiments and sacrifices from Geto who we assassinated and freed nearly 100 victims of a slave ring that Geto was running along with the fact Geto had the feudal lord of Wave killed. Shikaku whistled and said now that is some intel, how did you get it? All three members of Team 7 looked at each other and said at the same time Naruto. Tsunade was signing her paperwork when a voice said hello bitch. Startling Tsunade who looked around the room and bit her lip trying to break any genjutsu. The voice said what's wrong, getting blind in your old age? Tsunade growled and said who are you and what are you doing here? The papers flew off her desk and the voice said I'm someone who is deciding if I should kill you or not for being such a disgrace or if I should see if your reputation as the legendary sucker is real. Tsunade said why don't you show yourself a coward? Laughter could be heard and the voice said coward this coming from a woman who attacks a simple genin with a sucker punch because she knows she couldn't stand up to him in a real fight. Tsunade pursed her lips and said who are you? How did you get in here? A chuckle was heard and the voice said didn't Jiraiya tell you about me oh that's right, he only was interested in doing a favor for you in exchange for getting a blowjob or maybe some skanky old. From you. Tsunade clenched her fist and jumped away as something hard slapped her across her ass and she looked around the room as she backed up to the wall and said Anbu. Chuckling could be heard and the voice said sorry, I put up a privacy jutsu to keep from others hearing. I don't want Shizune to come in here in her condition. Tsunade's eyes widened slightly and said in an unsure voice Naruto. Naruto's voice said I see your brain finally figured it out and it only took 7 minutes. I guess all those brain cells you lost because of drinking too much are catching up with you. Tsunade frowned and said I know it's you Naruto, show yourself. Naruto said no. Tsunade said I order you to. Laughter was heard again and Naruto said sorry, if Jiraiya had the balls to come back here then he would have told you I basically declared myself a missing nin, so I don't follow your orders. Tsunade paled as she heard this and said you're lying. Naruto said why should I lie? Why would I want to follow orders from a woman who tried to kill me when I was delivering a scroll from your cousin asking for your help? Tsunade blinked and said my cousin, but aren't you my cousin? Naruto said, and what would make you think that I was your cousin? I know I have 2 bloodlines and I told Shizune about one of them, but I never said my second one was Mokuton like your cousin is and I know the Sandame won't tell you because it's clan business. The only ones who know who your cousin is for sure are your cousin, Sandame, and me. As he stayed invisible. Tsunade frowned and said then who is he? Naruto said to her, you really don't know for sure. Gigi, and I have made sure you don't even know the gender, much less what he or she looks like after what you did to me. Tsunade said look, I'm sorry. Chuckling could be heard again and Naruto said you're right about that you are a sorry excuse for a kunoichi, a sorry excuse for a ninja of Konoha, a sorry excuse of a woman, a sorry excuse as a person, and a sorry excuse for a cage. Tsunade growled who the hell do you think you are? Naruto said who the hell do you think you are? One of 3 ninja who sucked so bad an old man who you couldn't defeat gave you a name signifying you as the 3 legendary losers you each went on to make your name mean even something greater. The legendary pervert who has to peek on women because he's a 50-year-old virgin. A legendary pedophile who likes to play with little boys, and the legendary sucker who is said to be able to give a blowjob so good she can get any guy off in less than a minute and not miss a drop. Tsunade flinched as the words the Sandame told her bounced back in her head and Naruto said why don't you just leave your old hag? I mean the only reason you're here in the first place is because Kaharu and Hamura agreed to do anything to get you to return and they gave you 1/3 Konoha treasury, blood money that was paid for by your fiancé, brother, and the rest of your family. Also little Tsunade could go find another guy to blow and gamble her life away. I know the only reason you're actually Hokage is because the Sandame bitch slapped you and threatened to kill you for being a traitor. I see you for who you are. Your family would think of you as a disgrace. Tsunade had tears flowing down her face now and Naruto sighed and said the truth hurts, doesn't it? Tsunade remained silent as she looked lost, and Naruto said, now you know how your cousin feels. To know that the person who was thought could make their life better would go so far as to destroy all the proof that you were both related, as well as attempt to kill the messenger. I bet you don't even remember what you said to Shizune the day before. Tsunade said, no I don't, I wish I did. Naruto said, you told Shizune she was an old maid who's too ugly to even get a man to look at and will never know the joys of being a woman. You said the only reason she follow you was because men are always trying to get with you, and that Shizune was hoping that one of them will be so desperate to get laid and would feel sorry for her, a woman who gave up everything she knew at the age of 13 and followed you all these years, and you had the nerve to say that to her. Tsunade fell to her knees crying, and Naruto sighed and said, you have a lot to make up for, Tsunade, right now. You're not a Hokage in my eyes. The Hokage is someone who is willing to sacrifice everything to protect what is special to them. You're the only Hokage because you were paid to come back and because you were scared you would die if you didn't, but you have time, you have a chance to change and to fix your mistakes. Tsunade looked up and said, how? With a little hope in her voice. Naruto said, you want to meet your cousin, right? Tsunade said yes. Naruto said, then you're going to first draw up some papers. These papers will have it where when your cousin becomes an adult by civilian and ninja status, that he or she will become the clan head of your clan. Your clan name will then be changed to your cousin name, and all rights and properties of your clan will be signed over to your cousin. Tsunade said, what, but why? Naruto said, because it's going to take time for you to earn your cousin's trust. You're going to have to show your willingness to swallow your pride to get him or her to meet you. It will also make it where he or she will be responsible for the future of a clan that will be dominated by your cousin since you are unable to have children at your age. It will also protect your cousin should something happen to you so that he or she won't be turned into breeding stock for his or her bloodline. Tsunade frowned and said, very well. Naruto said, you will also call a council meeting in an hour. I will take the scroll you drawed up and take it to the Sandaime, who will sign it as a witness making it legal, and then at the council meeting your cousin will reveal his or herself. Tsunade bit her lip and said, all right. Naruto said, not so fast. As he saw Tsunade reach for some scrolls. Tsunade frowned and said, what? Naruto said, I'm not doing this for free. You owe me for nearly costing me my life and a finder's fee for helping you and your cousin meet. Tsunade thinned her lips and asked, what do you want? Naruto said, first I want Ino reinstated with her team and all charges against her dropped, and you will not try to get revenge another way against her. I don't know all the details, but Ino and Anko found me after you left me for dead, and she cares for me. Seeing the person you care for dying is a pain. You should know Tsunade well so you can understand the pain she must have felt being helpless to save me when they found me nearly dead. Tsunade flinched as the memories of her loved ones hit her, and she said quietly, done. Naruto said, that is the only thing I want. I assume that you know who my parents were. Iwa already knows who I am, as they already sent a team to kill me, so there is no use hiding it. I want my father's name, and I want the truth about who I really am along with the real truth about the Kyuubi revealed first to the council and then to the entire village, as well as who my family was. If you don't know the real truth, then ask the Sandaime to tell the truth during the meeting. I want Sanin travel rights, and I also want it where my bloodlines are protected and me or my past, present, or future family can't become breeding stock. I want any rights Jiraiya has as my godfather revoked and any possession or jutsu that belongs to either parent or family turned over to me. I want all possession or jutsu that I own to be protected from the Hokage and the council. Tsunade said, so you're basically wanting clan rights as well. Naruto said, if I get clan rights, I want the right to remove my family from Konoha if we don't like it here, because I do not want those idiots who see me as the Kyuubi to target my children or lovers. If they do, I want the right to leave this village without having hunter nins come after me or my loved ones. Tsunade thought for a moment and said, very well, about anything else? Naruto said, yes, I want all charges past and present up through today for anything that might be a crime for me or my teammates completely cleared. We did disobey your orders to return, but there was a lot going on in Wave that Konoha needs to know, so that is mostly why I want that. So if anyone finds out we didn't return like we should have, they can't have us suspended or killed, as well as removing our so-called missing nin status. Tsunade said, I have a problem with that one. You need to be punished for it. Naruto said, Orochimaru. Tsunade frowned and said, what about him? Naruto said what if I told you we know where he is and what he is up to? Would that be of interest to you? Tsunade said yes. Naruto said what if I told you we also have 2 possible trade alliance for Konoha, as well as military info on 2 hidden villages, as well as a slave ring. Also information on a Konoha bloodline now in the hands of another village thanks to Danzo. Would that be enough information to have my team's actions excused, since if we didn't do what we did then we wouldn't have what we have? Tsunade said I'm sure Jiraiya will inform me of this. Naruto chuckled and said after I busted his balls about the fact he never set eyes on me till that day in Wave in my entire life he told Kakashi-sensei we were his responsibilities and left to go peek on woman since I wouldn't come back and he couldn't get a from you without me. Tsunade scowled and said I see, is there anything else? Naruto said yes, I want Anko to train with me when she wants to go unrestricted. Tsunade said why? Naruto said that is my business. So do we have an agreement? Tsunade was silent for several minutes and said very well. Naruto said good, then draw up the contracts and I'll wait for Team 7 so they can come to the council meeting also and then I will go see Gigi about getting those documents signed and meet your cousin. Tsunade frowned and began to write down several documents and 15 minutes later she said done. Naruto said set them on the desk. I don't want to take the chance you double-crossed me since I don't trust you yet either. Tsunade did and Naruto grabbed them and the documents disappeared from sight and he said, bring Shizune to the meeting but tell her to please keep us a secret for now. Before the door opened and closed. Tsunade thought, how did he do that? Sandaime was in his clan house when he tensed and said who are you? Naruto appeared and Sandaime said don't sneak up like Naruto. I almost attacked you. What are you doing here? Naruto said I got a couple of scrolls I need you to look at quickly and make sure Tsunade didn't write them up wrong. Also I need this in a hurry since we have a council meeting soon. Sandaime said, what about a meeting? Naruto said I think it's best if you wait until hearing it at the meeting. It's important though very important. Sandaime read the scrolls Naruto gave him and chuckled and said very clever Naruto. I only saw 1 or 2 minor loopholes I fixed for you. But it appeared she was being honest with you so are you going to forgive her? Naruto said after today most of our problems will be taken care of, but dealing with what my team learned is more important right now. A knock on the door caught Sandaime's attention and he said come in. An Anbo in a bird mask came in and said sorry to disturb you sir, but there is a council meeting at 2:30. Sandaime said thank you. I'll be there. As he saw Naruto had disappeared. After the Anbo left the Sandaime said playing hide and seek huh? Naruto said something like that. My team should be at the gates in about 5 minutes, so I need to meet them and take them to the council meeting. Are they done? Sandaime said yes. Naruto said oh, before I forget, you will probably have to tell the real truth about Kyuubi and me. I will already knows who I am so there's no use hiding it. The Sandaime who handed Naruto the scrolls said I see, are you sure? Naruto said yeah. It's time to face my demons. Sandaime said very well. I'll see you at the meeting then Naruto. Naruto smiled and said thanks Gigi, I'll have a present for you after the meeting. As he disappeared again and left. When Naruto saw his team arriving at the gates, he got beside Kakashi and said softly stop the card Kakashi. I'm back. Kakashi said got everything done. As the real Naruto appeared just behind the fake Naruto and Naruto grabbed the card after the fake disappeared and said yeah. Sasuke said so did you get everything worked out? Naruto said we have a council meeting at 2:30. We have to go though. Also Sasuke, I need to know if you trust me. Sasuke said of course I do dope. Didn't we already go over that? Naruto said good, then I need you to trust me and not get angry or reveal anything until I am finished with what I got planned. You will thank me later, but at first you will be angry with me. Sasuke frowned and said why do I think this is going to be one of those things I hate the most? Naruto said probably hey you guys, guard duty again. As they actually stopped at the gates. Katetsu said hey Naruto, you're finally back. You need to watch out. For some reason Tsunade pissed at you. Naruto said I know, we have to head to the council for a meeting, so I'll deal with her there. Can we go ahead and enter? Katetsu said sure. Good luck. As they entered, Naruto looked at Sakura and said you okay Sakura? You've been quiet ever since you heard about me and Ino. Sakura looked down and said I don't know Naruto. When I heard what you called Ino, I immediately thought of all the bad things someone in that position faces, but when I saw those memories of what really happened and listened to yours and her words, I can't help but reflect on my own life." Naruto said boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, and wives, servants, and masters are all just titles people use to classify the relationships others share. Look at us. Team friends, comrades again, just titles. They don't mean anything really, it's the bond they represent that actually defines them. Sakura smiled slightly and said maybe I should become a servant. Naruto said maybe you should be friends first, Sakura. You need to know who you are first before you can figure out what you can be. Talk to Ino as a friend before you ever decide to think of something like that, and no, not everyone is as kind as I am. Kakashi said, you know, I honestly feel like the fifth wheel on this team. Naruto said sometimes you are, but you are a member anyways. Well damn, we must have gotten quicker than I thought. There's the council building, and it appears everyone is moving in. As he saw several well-dressed figures walking in. Kakashi said, so what are we doing exactly? Naruto said you're mostly just going to stand there, look pretty, and keep your mouth shut. Unless asked a question, of course. Sasuke said so this is going to be just like Wave, then works for me. Sakura said, and somehow, I feel Kami is on our side. Naruto said probably more than you know, Sakura, but she's still a bitch. Kakashi sweat dropped and thought to Kami, please don't kill me for your grandson's actions and words. I'll try and get him to change. As the group walked to the building, and in the hall a Chunin stepped forward in front of Naruto glaring hatefully and said, what are you doing here? Naruto smiled and said I'm being court-martialed for insubordination and will most likely be killed since my team thinks I've lost my mind. What was that, master? Oh yes, Kyuubi-sama said we need to hurry because he wants his freedom when I die. All hail Kyuubi-sama, all hail Kyuubi-sama. The Chunin looked paler than Orochimaru and had pissed his pants, and Naruto grabbed his stomach and said, no master, it's too early. He's coming. As he looked to be in pain. The Chunin screamed and ran away screaming, Kyuubi escaping. Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto all three burst out laughing, and Kakashi said that was so wrong, Naruto. Naruto shrugged and said serves him right. Anyways, let's go. As he walked on down the hall. Sasuke said you seem to know where you're going. Naruto said I do. I was declared an adult before I ever entered the academy by them, and I had to come for that meeting since they thought if they made me an adult I couldn't be a ninja. Luckily for me your dad actually screwed them on that one because it would have made your brother lose his ninja license. As he stopped outside a double set of doors and said now remember, let me speak. All three other members nod and Naruto knocks on the door and both doors are opened and Tsunade who was inside says Team 7. Good, you're here. Come on in. As she looked at all four members and Naruto said remember the jutsu I displayed to you before you couldn't figure it out? He's using it. He wants to know where your clan's seat is so he can sit down. As he turned his head to the side like he was listening to someone. Tsunade said it's over by sensei, but he needs to reveal himself. A snort was heard in the room, shocking most, as the chair beside Saratobi was pulled out and then pulled closer to the desk showing someone was in it, but no one could see who it was. Saratobi bit his lip and said I presume that the issue of our friend here can wait for Tsunade, as I am sure you have a more important reason to call this meeting. Tsunade frowned and said yes, all right, what is all the information you have that you felt was needed to call this meeting Team 7? Naruto said if I may speak for my team. The civilian said why would we listen to the likes of you? Naruto said Sandaime-sama, perhaps it would be best if you explain to these people who my parents were along with what really happened to the Kyuubi. Saratobi said very well since Iwa is already aware of your parentage it doesn't do any good to hide it and the real truth about the Kyuubi was going to come out soon anyways with your permission Tsunade may I reveal some information about the figure currently hiding his looks beside me. Tsunade nods and Saratobi sees Naruto nod slightly and he says first the person beside me is in fact the great-grandson of Hashirama Senju, the Shodaime Hokage. Causing nearly everyone's eyes to widen, though a few shots look at Naruto. Hiashi said another member of the Senju clan how? I thought Tsunade never had children. Tsunade said I didn't. I was recently contacted and informed about him. His grandmother was my aunt, the daughter of my grandfather Hashirama. She married and left the village and later was killed, but not before having a son. Saratobi said that son actually died the night of the Kyuubi attack, when he used the Mokutan bloodline to send Kyuubi away just like his grandfather had done many years ago. Yondaime didn't die from sealing Kyuubi, he died from a poison kunai that bounced off Kyuubi and hit him in an accident. Several murmurs were heard throughout the room, and Tsume said, "But how is that possible, sir? We all saw the seal." Naruto said a special Genjutsu seal Konoha was too weak after the Kyuubi attack, so what better way to protect Konoha from other villages than to make them think we had a Jinchuriki who could release the Kyuubi? Why else do you think Jiji here told the entire village about the sealing then told you all not to tell anyone when he could have kept it a secret? It was to make our enemies think it's our worst kept secret, and the plan worked, except for one small detail. Almost nobody saw me as the hero my father asked for, protecting you by pretending to be the Jinchuriki. A civilian said, but it was Yondaime that said that it can't be, as he looked really good at Naruto. Naruto said, yeah, I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the Yondaime Hokage of Konoha and Kushina Uzumaki. Konoha made my life hell for no reason. Murmurs broke out in the room, and someone shouted, it's a lie, I saw the demon healing his body. Chuckling could be heard, and everyone turned to Naruto who said, oh, that's easy to explain. You see, I have two bloodlines, and I'd like to demonstrate one of them for you real quick. Naruto pulled out a kunai and set his hand on the ground and drew back, and to the shock of everyone he cut off his thumb. Naruto winced and stood up holding his bleeding hand, and Tsunade screamed, what are you doing? Naruto held up his hand and concentrated, and to everyone's shock Naruto's thumb began to grow back, and within 2 minutes he had a brand new thumb. Naruto began to make a fist with his hand and opened it and closed it several times and said, still hurts like a bitch. Murmurs broke out in the room, and Inoichi said, how did you do that? Naruto saw everyone get quiet and he said, my bloodline is from my mother, it's called the Kamichi. It's a chakra-based bloodline. As long as I have chakra in my body I can heal pretty much anything, and the more I heal the more chakra I make, which is why I have such high chakra reserves. I also become immune to any poison I come in contact with after the first exposure to it, and, as you can see, I can regenerate from lost limbs. I've actually grown. An arm, a hand, and now a finger, along with all the times I had to repair bones in my body. There's a few more things about it, but I would rather keep it a secret. The civilian said we should have him reproduce that bloodline. It could make Kono. Everyone in the room froze as Kai started coming off Naruto. Naruto, who had closed his eyes, said, I think you should know a few things first. Before I came here I had a meeting with Tsunade. In exchange for helping to reunite her with her second cousin and her learning the truth about the Kyuubi attack, my heritage, and a few other things including learning I have two bloodlines, she agreed to a few demands I had. One such demand was clan status, so the Namikaze clan is now an official clan. She also gave me san and travel rights and the right to pick up my clan and all present and future members and leave should Konoha continue its actions against me because of their ignorance. But she gave me one other thing she didn't quite realize the full extent of, that she gave me full immunity for all crimes past and present through today. So for the slow idiots I am sure some of you are, if I decide to kill you and everyone in Konoha for all the shit you put me through with all the years of abuse and hatred and the isolation and the fact you think you can turn me into breeding stock, you know, killing them doesn't sound like a bad idea the more I think about it. I also got the same rights for Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. Sasuke hates Konoha because he knows Danzo, a member of this council, was involved in the Uchiha massacre and either did it with his root and framed Itachi or aided Itachi in doing it, so the fact none of you realized that could give him a reason to hate you. What do you say? Feel like a little revenge avenger? Sasuke said, sounds like fun. Naruto looked at Sakura and said, you heard Sasuke, as his loyal fangirl you want in. As he winked at her. Sakura, realizing it's a prank, said, oh Sasuke-kun, I'll help you anyways I can. Naruto looked at Kakashi and said, what about you? Get revenge for the way people treated you because of your dad. Kakashi said. At this several members began to sweat and Naruto shrugged and said, I'll just kill them later. I'll wait to see what they do after today. I don't really need permission to kill them. As he looked forward and saw several people pale. Naruto said, anyways, since I'm protected by the clan right now, what were you going to say about turning me into breeding stock? Just remember the council and the Hokage have no power over clan affairs, isn't that right, Hyuga-san? Hiashi bristled at the san part but said yes. Naruto said, yeah, that reminds me, is there any way I can speak to you privately for about 5 minutes? I think a couple of people in this room need to change their shorts since it smells like piss and shit in here. Do you mind taking about a 5-minute recess, Tsunade? Tsunade said no, I believe we all could use it after hearing the shocker we all just did. We will continue in 15 minutes from now. Dismissed. As everyone began to leave the room, Naruto walked over to Hiashi, who was still sitting, and Naruto looked left and right and said, "Look, let's skip the formality for a few minutes because some of the info my team discovered on our last mission could really screw you and your clan over." Hiashi said, "I doubt that." Naruto said, "Really? So you're willing to take a chance at a repeat of the cloud incident once the info I have becomes public?" Hiashi became serious and said, "I do not like what you are implying." Naruto said, "All branch members of your clan are under the direct control of the main family." Hiashi remained silent and Naruto said, "Have any branch members become missing nins in the last 20 years?" Hiashi said, "Never." Naruto frowned and said, "Damn, I was hoping you would say yes. That means the only way this clusterfuck could have happened is if members of the main branch were involved. If you don't know about the fact that there were branch members of your clan working for Danzo en route." That caught Hiashi's full attention and said, "What do you mean?" Naruto said, "Let's put it this way. Because of Danzo and whoever in your clan was working with him to hide the fact branch members were working en route, the Hyuga bloodline has not only been compromised by another village gaining the eyes of said branch member, but also was able to start a breeding program that has over 50 children alive with your bloodline in that village and more appearing every day." Hiashi said, "That's impossible." Naruto said, "Sorry, I saw a working transplanted Hyuga eye along with my sensei and heard the story of how they obtained it from the leader of the village that now has it. The problem is what to do about it, because if the story comes out, you and your clan are going to look like traitors to Konoha because of how they got the eye. Of course, the only Konoha ninja who know the real story are Kakashi and me, and Kakashi feels he owes my family too much to say anything, so the story of how they got it can remain a secret, and I sort of know the leader of the village and could convince the leader to not tell anyone in exchange for you not trying to steal the bloodline back, which would cause a war or your clan looking like traitors. The question is what you're willing to sacrifice for my assistance and silence and what you plan to do afterwards." Hiashi frowned and said, "Can you tell me how this happened?" Naruto said, "Sure, I have more to gain by telling you than keeping it silent, and you can see the situation you are in. The Yonde Mizukage disappeared from office some time back, and because of the bloodline civil war there were several factions trying to gain power to become the Gade Mizukage. Danzo sent several teams of route to the Hidden Mist to try and take over by killing all who opposed them. They didn't care who they killed. Ninja, civilian, bloodlines, or non-bloodlines. The leader of the bloodline side had her side defend all those who were being attacked by root, and they killed them all, but one, a branch member of your clan. Because of this action, the woman who was the leader of the bloodline side was named Gade Mizukage and ended the bloodline civil war and became the first female Kage. They kept the Hyuga sedated and took his eyes and sperm and used them to create several children. Danzo sent an assassin to kill the Hyuga that sealed his body, but by the time he did, the Hidden Mist had enough sperm to create over 50 children, and 2 ninja of the Hidden Mist have 1 Hyuga eye each, so you can see, because of Danzo and whoever in your clan that hid the fact your clan had branch members en route, your bloodline has now been passed out in the world, and if you tried to stir up trouble over it, then Kumo could try and kidnap one of those children, since I bet the Mizukage didn't tell me the real numbers of Hyuga they have. Or they could make an alliance with the Hidden Mist to trade for it, but I might be able to prevent that from happening since, as I said, I know the Mizukage, and we have sort of an arrangement going on the side. In fact, I have a message from her to the Hokage and the council, and she is coming to Konoha for the Chunin exams for business and possibly an alliance. So, what do you feel your clan image is worth?" With a smirk. Hiashi frowned and said, "What is it you want?" Naruto said, "Now don't feel upset. I think I can actually help you with a problem you have been facing for some time. How to keep both your daughters from getting sealed." Hiashi said, "How?" Naruto said, "You and I both know there is no way that a branch member could have been en route without the main branch members being involved. You can reveal that information to them to force them into releasing Hinata from getting the seal, and if you accept both parts of my deal, you could make your other daughter clan heiress while Hinata is moved out of your clan's hands. That way you have a strong heiress and protect both your daughter and keep the secret about how the Hidden Mist got your clan bloodline." Hiashi was silent for several moments and said, "Very well, I'm listening." Naruto said I'm not as much of a fool as everyone thinks I am. I know the only way I can actually protect myself and my future clan from the people of this village is to get the help of the existing clans. I want a public statement saying that your clan wishes to thank the Namikaze clan for our service to the village, yada, yada, yah. I'm sure you could make a speech that would make you smell like roses off that, but the main point of it is that you wish to help show support to my clan by having Hinata join as a member of my clan. That will move her out of your clan hands so they can't seal her, as I refuse to have any member of my clan having a seal without their consent. I already have a servant from another clan who has made a similar agreement, and I might have a third clan who is willing to marry into my clan. By having 3 or more of the clans of Konoha supporting my clan as an ally to my clan, and any action taken against my clan would be considered an action against their clan, I think that would cause most of those who are too stupid to accept the truth from doing anything after all. If they refuse to let my clan shopping in their stores, the loss of several clans would severely hurt them and make them tolerate my clan out of necessity. So what do you say? You get to protect both your daughters and your clan image, ally yourself with a new clan that might help your clan in the future by mixing our bloodlines depending on how things work out and making it where you can gain more control from the other main branch members by beginning a rat hunt to find the traitor and limiting their power since they have betrayed your clan. Possibly gain enough support to finally get rid of that seal so others don't have to follow the path of your nephew Neji. Hiashi said you have given me much to think about. Naruto said yes, but unfortunately you will have to make the decision very soon because we are fixing to have to give intel on the Mist Village and other things we learned on our last mission, so it comes down to a choice of telling everyone or not. So is it worth it to you to accept my deal? If so, send for Hinata so she can be placed in my clan during this meeting as proof that you keep your end of the deal, and I will have Kakashi and me keep our silence about the Hyuga. Your choice. As he turned and started to walk away, Hiashi frowned and Naruto walked over to his team who had moved by the door and Sasuke said, "What did you do?" Naruto said to Sasuke, "How much does your girl mean to you?" Sasuke looked around and then at Hiashi and frowned as he said, "Why?" Naruto said, "If my plan works I could have her unsealed and married to you by the end of the day, but it will cost you." Sasuke's eyes got wide and asked how. Naruto said, "Don't worry about how. The question is if you are willing to sacrifice for her." Sasuke bit his lip and nodded, and Naruto said, "Then it will cost you half your clan fortune and half your clan land. You will also become allied to me by marrying a member of my clan." Hinata. Sasuke's eyes widened and he frowned and said, "How is Hinata joining your clan?" Naruto shrugged and said, "I just blackmailed Hiashi." Sasuke and Sakura sputtered and Kakashi dropped his book and Naruto said, "Don't mention anything about the Hyuga bloodline being stolen or how it was stolen, Kakashi-sensei. In fact, don't mention the Hyuga at all." Kakashi frowned and said, "All right Naruto, but I don't like this." Naruto said, "I know, but it's for the best." Tsunade said, "Order, everyone is back." Hiashi said, "I am expecting my daughter Hinata here momentarily, Hokage-sama. I sent word to her because I have recently made an agreement to support the Namikaze clan for their years of service of protecting Konoha, and I hereby state that any actions directed at members of the Namikaze clan will be considered actions directed at the Hyuga clan as well. I feel that a marriage between the Namikaze clan and the Hyuga clan would be beneficial to Konoha." Several eyes widened and Shizune covered her mouth and Naruto said, "I believe you have slightly spoken out of context, Hyuga-san. The agreement was for Hinata to join my clan, no marry into it. Remember how I spoke about another who has allied with my clan secretly recently? For the moment I do not believe I will be marrying any woman due to the fact I will have to have several women in my clan, and I do not want to show favoritism of one over the other." Hiashi looked confused and said, "But you said another clan was thinking of marrying into your clan." Naruto said, "Oh, I see where you are confused. You see, I have a sort of confession. I guess a little of my pranking humor was revealed today, as you remember the little invisible person routine earlier, the great-grandson of the Shodaime Hokage." As he flashed through hand signs and slammed his foot on the ground, and a chair began to form out of the floor made of wood, and Naruto said, "Is me." Hiashi said, "So you are a senju?" Naruto said, "Actually no." Tsunade signed a scroll stating when I become an adult by ninja and civilian standards that I would inherit all senju clan property and the Senju clan would be renamed after my family name, the Namikaze clan, since my father was the Yondaime, and he used Mokuton to stop the Kyuubi and devised the Genjutsu seal to trick our enemies. The member I was referring to could possibly be married, since I am now the clan head of the Namikaze clan, and Tsunade is just a member of the clan. I can arrange for her to marry another." Tsunade went pale and red-faced at the same time and screamed, "What?" Naruto said, "Yeah, you see, I've got a little arrangement with the Uchiha clan to end the rivalry between our clans, and Sasuke has agreed to trade me half his clan's wealth, which will help to restore our clan's funds, as well as half his land and property, which I plan to fix up and rent out to help Konoha to prosper, as well as make our clan more prosperous and well thought of in the community to help support the future clan." Sasuke been real excited about the prospect ever since I first mentioned it, and though I hadn't told him who he was marrying, when he allied with my clan he knew about you, and since your reputation as the legendary sucker is so well known and your genjutsu makes you so desirable, he's liked the idea, though we never named names. Tsunade said, "You can't do that. I forbid it." Naruto said, "The Hokage and council can't get involved in clan business, Tsunade. You should know that already, and, as Hokage, you can't order me not to, and since I'm a clan head it is well within my rights. This way you can help to restore all those funds you lost over the years gambling and drinking. I know it's sudden, but just think, it's for the future members of our clan." Tsunade said, "You little bastard. I should have killed you when I had a chance. I'll fucking cut off his pecker before I let him touch me." Naruto turned to Sasuke and said, "She seems like a wild one, Sasuke. You sure you can handle her?" Before Sasuke had a chance to say anything, the door opened to the room and Naruto saw Hinata enter, and she bowed and said in a stutter, "You wish to see me, father?" Hiashi said, "Yes. I have recently made an agreement with the Namikaze clan for you to join his clan. You will not be receiving the caged bird seal as part of the agreement that was met, and your sister will be taking over as heiress to the clan." Hinata stiffened and said in a stutter as she tried to control herself, "Hi father, but who is of the Namikaze clan?" Naruto said, "That would be Hinata." Hinata froze hearing Naruto's voice when a voice was heard in her head and said, "Don't say anything to Hinata. I'm friends with Naruto. I need to know if what Sasuke said is true. Are you and him secretly dating, and is your crush on Naruto a fake? Answer honestly and think about your answer." Hinata, who was shocked, thought yes. The voice said, "Then you and Sasuke will be together, but you need to play along in the greatest prank ever. Now faint like you usually do." Hinata did just that. Naruto quickly caught her, and Sasuke looked at Hinata and heard the voice in his head and said to Naruto, "I'm not sure I can handle Tsunade. I think she really will cut off my manhood, and I need that to restore my clan. I would like to propose a challenge. If I win, then I get the right to choose which member of your clan I marry, since I am aware of several members you have secretly. If I lose, I will still marry Tsunade, but you get the entire Uchiha clan fortune and land, and I will change my name to Namikaze or whatever branch name you would choose for me to have." Shocking everyone in the room. Naruto looked at Sasuke and said, "So let me see if I get this right. You wish to challenge me for the right to pick which member you marry. If you lose, the Uchiha clan will die with your brother and everything you own will belong to me. That is a very risky deal for both of us. What is this challenge?" Sasuke said, "I know about Hinata's secret crush on you. Hell, I think most of the village does. We all know, no matter how big of an idiot you are, she always follows you. I bet I can make Hinata become angry with you and come to me heartbroken and angry at you just by saying 2 sentences. If she does, then I win. If she doesn't, then you win." Naruto said, "You do know that's a sucker's bet, right? I mean, Hinata liked me for years. What do you think of Hyuga-san? I know both our clans had a rivalry with the Uchiha in the past. If Sasuke fails, then the Uchiha clan will cease to exist in Konoha. I think we should do it. What about you? I ask for your opinion." Hiashi thought for several moments as Hinata began to stir and said, "Very well." Hinata slowly opened her eyes and stuttered out. Sasuke looked at Naruto, who nodded, and Sasuke said to Hinata, "Naruto has been flirting with another woman, and he has the panties of another woman in a scroll he carries with him. He also hired me a prostitute after he got me drunk, and she gave me a problem I had to get treated for." Hinata, whose eyes began to water, turned to rage, and she screamed, "What?" as she quickly got to her feet with her bloodline activated, and she said, "You are within my range of divination. 8 trigrams, 2 palm, 4 palm, 8 palm, 16 palm, 32 palm 64 palm strike. As she struck Naruto multiple times causing him to fly backwards before she turned and fell into Sasuke's arms crying. Naruto coughed a few times and said it's always the quiet ones you gotta look out for. As he slowly stood up and said damn, that hurts so looks like you won team who do you want? Sasuke said to Hinata. Hiashi screamed what you can't do that. Naruto frowned and said I don't like it either Hyuga-san, but a deal is a deal. She's still a member of my clan, even when she marries Sasuke, so our agreement is still valid. In the end I guess everyone wins. I got my agreement, you gotta protect both your daughters from sealing, and Sasuke got him someone who can look out for those little medical problems for Sasuke. Hinata glared at Naruto, and Naruto smirked and thought you're both welcome. And both heard him. Naruto stood up and said well looks like my bloodline heals those also. Damn, that still hurts so, since we got the clan business out of the way, let's get what this meeting was called for done. I'll summarize everything. The feudal lord of Wave Country was assassinated by Gato of Gato Shipping Company who either had his mercenary do it or ninja from the Hidden Sound Village. The Hidden Sound Village is a village created by Orochimaru and is located in Ricefield Country. As their name suggests they use sound-based attacks that mess up balance and visuals and Kami knows what else. Gato had several teams of mercenaries under his employment and we were able to take out a large group of them and assassinate Gato freeing Wave Country from his control. We were able to capture a sound ninja that Kakashi-sensei was able to integrate for more info. We also met the Gade Mizukage who is named Meitarumi. Like me she possesses two bloodlines. The bloodline civil war in the Land of Water is over, but Konoha was partially responsible for that. Danzo sent Root Ninja to kill everyone they could and try to take over the Hidden Mist village during the fighting to see who would become the Gade Mizukage. All the Root Ninja he sent are now dead thanks to the faction that was led by Mei which gave her the support of the other factions for saving so many from the Root Ninja. She does not blame Konoha though. She will be coming here during the Chunin exams to meet Zabuza Mamachi who is currently employed by my clan as a security guard somewhere as his missing nin status has been revoked for the time being. I have a scroll from her to the council and the Hokage about a possible trade alliance with Konoha and Wave. Wave Country is currently being led by Tazuna who was the client Team 7 was sent to protect while he finished the Great Naruto Bridge that now connects Wave Country to Fire Country. There was a separate matter that was discussed between Mei and myself for clan business, and I don't know if she put it in this scroll, and I would like your permission Tsunade to see if it is in there, and if it is I ask that you not read it as we are still in discussion of it. Tsunade frowned and said, and why should I agree to that since you just tried to basically sell me off? Naruto said hey, I originally planned to use my invisibility jutsu and a couple of Kage Bunshin carrying baseball bats and have them swing for home runs against those jugs you have on your chest. Since I decided against that and the other deal fell through I still have the right to decide what to do to you to get my revenge. I've got two choices I am leaning toward and depending on if you keep quiet, if what I want to remain a secret is in this scroll or not I will let you choose which of the two choices you will accept as punishment for the incident in the woods. Tsunade frowned and said you're trying to blackmail me. Naruto said yeep. It may be illegal, but you already excused me for it, so you can't do shit. Tsunade said, where did you learn so much about tricks like this? Naruto said 1/3 of all documents the council sent to the Sandaime to be either passed or failed was actually decided on by me to help Jiji with the paperwork. I yelled for years that I was going to be Hokage. Jiji was already training me for the job. Sandaime coughed as several people looked at him shocked and Naruto said so, I'll give you the two choices you got. I'll either make the same deal with Jiraiya as I was going to make Sasuke, half his fortune in exchange for marrying you or you will have to serve from now until the Chunin exams in your free time when you are not at the hospital or Hokage Tower as a personal doctor and massage therapist for the Sandaime and Kakashi Sensei, and you have to wear one of those naughty nurse outfits that are too small and show off your figure while keeping your genjutsu up. Several perverted giggles were heard as Kakashi dropped his book and the Sandaime blew back with a nosebleed and Tsunade screamed I'm going to kill you. As she jumped to her feet only for two Kagebunshin 2 to appear beside her with baseball bats drawn back, shocking everyone and making Tsunade freeze, and Naruto said try me. Tsunade took several deep breaths and said I'll get my revenge, just you wait. I'll get my revenge. Naruto said maybe, But you will have to do it while taking one or your other punishment, so the question is, what will you take as a legendary sucker? The naughty nurse or the wife of the writer of Icha Icha Paradise? I'm sure Jiraiya would love to use you as his inspiration for all his future books. Of course you could just read what's in this scroll regardless of our clan's secret, and I'll see if I can't bust those things you call breasts and make your chest flat again like Jiraiya used to call you. Tsunade frowned and said, very well, I'll take the naughty nurse, only because I'll spend all my time as Hokage and working at the hospital. Naruto said, good, then you will make my clan respectable again. No matter what, I always win. Hiashi said, you lost earlier. Naruto looked over at Sasuke and Hinata and said, did I? I got everything I wanted. An alliance with both the Hyuga and the Uchiha clan, so now, if anyone refuses me service like they have in the past, then they lose the support of both clans, which could bankrupt them, and I might make alliances with other clans, or have already, that I don't want to mention, which will hurt those who will target my friends and family. I also got rich enough where I have now 1/4 of Konoha properties that I can use, as well as about 5% of all the money in Konoha plus my trade agreement my clan has with a couple of places in Fire Country outside of Konoha and in Wave Country, so in about 3 years the Namikaze clan will become the 3rd richest clan in Konoha, I figure. Sounds to me like I won. Huh. Everyone thought of his words and realized he was right, which scared some of the ones who were still hateful toward Naruto. In the end, after the scroll was opened and read, it was learned to be just a general notification stating the Mizukage was coming to Konoha for the Chunin exams and would like to meet with the Hokage and council during her stay to discuss the future of both villages. The meeting was called and Sasuke and Hinata slipped out quickly. Hiashi left while looking constipated. Tsunade tried to find Naruto but discovered he was gone, as was Shizune. Up on the Hokage monument, Naruto took Shizune and Naruto said, sorry about that back there. Shizune smiled slightly and said, it's all right, I understand you were trying to protect the future of your clan, but can you please stop abusing Tsunade-sama as you have? She feels a lot of regret for her actions. Naruto said, yeah. My punishment for her was all dished out today. She will have to deal with her choice for now, but I will try to get to know my cousin. How are you and the baby? Shizune said, I'm doing fine and the baby is healthy. What was that with the Hyuga girl? Naruto said, her and Sasuke have been dating secretly for a while now and I decided to help them get together. Most of that was an act to get what I wanted out of certain people since I couldn't trust Tsunade to help deal with the council after what happened. I didn't know you were Tsunade's assistant. Shizune smiled and said, it's all right, this has been shocking. Naruto looked over at the village and said, you know I'm still going to have to be with several women, right? To make sure both my bloodlines continue now that I've revealed them. Shizune said, I know we thought we would never see each other, but I'm glad we did and I'd like to be with you. Naruto said, and I want to be with you also, but we can't just yet. There's one other I care for as much as you who I'm having to keep secret, as well as her slapping Tsunade kind of revealed it some. Shizune's eyes widened and said, now her slap makes more sense, is she? Naruto said, no, I think she's too young for that and our relationship is complicated. I'll tell you about it sometime, but for now I really need to get some sleep. I'm almost out of chakra and all this stress can't be good for you and the baby. Shizu smiled and said, you're right, I need to help Tsunade with the fallout of all that has happened. Can I see you sometime? Naruto said, yeah, but besides you, Ino is the only one I have real feelings for in Konoha. I've flirted with a couple here and they're just to throw off suspicion like I suggested, except for a special case, but there is no one else pregnant out there. Shizune kissed him and said, I'll come by sometime to see you. Naruto said, all right, if you miss me and Ino around, just leave a message with her. I'll get it and come see you. Shizune nods and kisses him again before shoo-shining away. Naruto sighed as he began to trip to his place, and when he got there he saw it was a mess and he walked into his room and saw Ino asleep in his bed and he walked in and flipped the bed, causing her to scream, and he said, get the mess cleaned up and sleep in your apartment tonight as punishment. Go. Ino pouted but slyly smiled and said, yes master, welcome back. Naruto said, yeah, I need to sleep. Saya tomorrow, and Ino, if you get done before I fall asleep, if you can find a place in my bed I'll let you stay the night, but it has to be before I fall asleep. Ino's eyes widened and got moving as quickly as possible cleaning it up, and Naruto thought she didn't realize I sent a clone here who spider messing it up on purpose to get in trouble, damn woman. Before he closed his eyes. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. If you want the next part of this story, let me know in the comment box. See you next time, till then sayonara.